Hey guys, Josh Lenoir here, and I'm just going to be going over the build that I've been using for Morrowind and Homestead because they basically work the exact same way. I really haven't changed much. So yeah, we have 5 7th Legion on the body. When you take damage, you have a 10% chance to get 483 weapon damage for 5 seconds, so that's really helpful, and that stacks with a bunch of other things that I'll go over later. There is also a heal attached to that, and the heal has no cooldown, so it's very helpful as well. We have 2 Troll Kings. You can use 2 of any other monster hound that you'd like, but for now I just use Troll Kings. It's a pretty good buffer for your health. Survivability, it helps a lot with that. You can use Bloodspawn for survivability, but if you want to use this build and you want to go damage, you can use like Selene, you can use 1 Kina, 1 Velodreth, or you can use 2 Velodreth. So we have 5 impen on the body. We have 2 well fitted. You can go 3 well fitted for impen, especially in heavy, because you do have more resistances, so you don't need as much crit resistance, and you do need more stamina for dodge rolling and sprinting, especially in this patch. We have light head, medium shoulders, and then we have 5 heavy, so you have the maximum undaunted passives, and undaunted passives are very helpful because you get 2% of all your max stats, or all your max resources per different piece of armor that you have. So if you have, we have 3 different armor, heavy, light, medium, so you're getting 6% max stamina, health, and magicka, and that's very helpful. We have 3 rings of agility, so 1 weapon damage, 2 recovery. You can go 3 recovery, but that would be kind of pushing it. It would just be harder to do damage, but for now I just use 2 recovery, 1 damage. I just like it better that way. On our front bar we have 2-hand sharp Maelstrom Maul, and then on our back bar we have a powered Master's Bow. For the Master's Bow you can go defending if that is the trait that you got, because it really is up to RNG and it's extremely difficult. Well, I wouldn't say it's extremely difficult, but it definitely takes time and effort to grind for the trait you want of a Master's Bow and just finish it in general. So I just compromised and I just settled for powered because it helps with survivability, so you get more heals from rally, vigor, and from other sources as well. So that's what I like. We are also using double damage poisons on our front bar. You can use no poisons if you want, because Maelstrom Maul does have a pretty good dot attached to it. So there's that. I just like using double damage poisons because it gives you a lot of burst. Honestly, it gives you a pretty good amount of burst when they proc. You'll notice it too. Like, people's health will drain pretty fast for a little bit of time, and that gives you enough time to execute people and whatnot. So that's what I like about it. For our skills, we have Rally on the front bar. We have Fear as well. We have Executioner for our execute. You can use Killer's Blade if you want. The reason I use Executioner though is because I'm using Stampede for crit. I'm using Stampede for my charge ability. And then we also have Surprise Attack for our Cookie Cutter DPS ability. About Executioner though, you can use Reverse Slice as well, especially in group play. I'm just too lazy to switch to it, but Reverse Slice is definitely helpful for hitting multiple people that are low, especially when you have like another friend or 2 Dawnbreakering the same 2 people or 3 people, and then you guys can Reverse Slice them and you'll do a pretty good amount of AoE damage to everyone. We also have In-Cap on our front bar. Once again, in group play you can use Dawnbreaker on your front bar if you want, but just solo play and around like groups of 2 to 3, 4 people, I still like In-Cap because it gives you the Major Defile, and that's really helpful for taking healers out as well, because with Dawnbreaker they can't just cleanse the dot, they can also cleanse the Major Defile from In-Cap, but In-Cap gives more status effects that people have to cleanse off, so keep that in mind. Back bar we have Vigor. We have Cloak. I use Shadowy Disguise because, so Cloak, and then your next attack is a guaranteed crit, so you can cloak and then go straight to an in cap or straight into a heavy attack. That's really helpful. Another thing that people, at least some people, don't know is that when you are in stealth, all of your heals crit. So if we look at our combat log really quickly, critically heal yourself with the rally, all of these are crits. Like all the light green is crits, all the darker green is a normal. So just crit, 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 crit with vigor as well. So keep that in mind. Good way to survive as Nightblade is, let's say you're getting hit, dodge roll, and then you go into cloak. All your rallies will crit, and when you recast rally as well, the burst heal you get from rally will be a guaranteed crit if you're in stealth too. So that's really helpful. We also have siphoning attacks. There is a lot of debate over whether siphoning is even still worth running. Personally, I think it is. It just takes more, I don't know, it's just not as easy to use siphoning as it was last patch. It gives you heals, so it definitely helps with survivability, but your stat management is definitely going to suffer if you don't know what you're doing. It actually gives, I would say it gives just as much magicka. Like my magicka feels fine compared to last patch, maybe even better, because when you recast it, it will give you a burst of magicka back based on how long it's been going. I can literally sit here and spam siphoning attacks over and over and over again, and I'm never going to run out of magicka because of my magicka recovery, and it gives me magicka back for casting it anyways. And they reduced the cost to just 1k magicka for casting it. I think it used to be like maybe even 3k, I think, last patch, so that's really helpful. We have poison injection for our bow damage ability, and we use poison inject because Master's bow will benefit from it, and you'll get 300 weapon damage versus any target you're attacking with a poison damage ability on it, so keep that in mind. Then we're also going to use shuffle just because cleanses snares, and being able to cleanse a snare is helpful for trying to get away or trying to catch up to someone. And major evasion is really good for just defensive capability as well, so keep that in mind. Ulti on our back bar, there are multiple ultimates you can use. You can use siphoning one, which is Soul Tether. That's pretty good for group play as well, for an AoE stun, and then your friends can jump in and Dawnbreaker, or when someone's about to dash out, you Soul Tether and everyone's stunned for a brief moment, and then other people can just start sweeping on people, and then it also heals you based on how many people you hit, so you get really, really tanky for a pretty decent amount of time. If there's like 4 people on you and you're low, and you pop Soul Tether, and your health will just shoot right back up for a pretty good amount of time, so it's definitely good. You can Dawnbreaker on back bar as well. It doesn't hit hard on your back bar, but it is good for, once again, group play. It is really good for just getting that conal stun and getting that dot on people. Also, Dawnbreaker back bar is helpful because let's say you're getting chased by like 2 people and you have a Dawnbreaker ready, you can just dodge roll, you can turn around and Dawnbreaker them, and then 2 or 3 people are going to be stunned immediately, and then you can finish one person off, so that's really helpful. But I use Ballista because Ballista is just insane how much damage this thing can do. If you look at your Hawkeye passive in your bow tree, you get 5% extra damage on your bow ability, stacking up to 5 times. So you can do 5 light attacks to someone, and then you pop a Ballista. That Ballista is going to hit 25% harder, and then, oops. Yeah, so the Ballista is going to hit 25% harder, and then as soon as you pop the Ballista, you can fear someone, and it goes through their block, and then you're going to get like a couple Ballista hits through block, and it's going to just tear the person apart. It hits really, really hard, and you don't have to channel it or anything, so you could be doing damage to them as well. So that's why I like Ballista more than any other ulti, honestly. It's also good for shutting down one person. It goes through cloak as well, and it's not like you can cleanse Ballista either, so if you're fighting Nightblades, having Ballista is really, really helpful, so that's why I like it. If we go to our stats, I'm running 1752 stam recovery, and then I have 26k max stam on my back bar. I have 1k stamina, or sorry, 1k health recovery. I have 22.5k health on my back bar, but I have 23k health on my front bar. 991 magicka recovery, I'll get to that later. and then we also have 10.5k max magicka on our back bar, and then we have 9.8k max magicka on our front bar. With weapon damage, I have, when I'm buffed up on my front bar, 2700 weapon damage, which isn't a lot, and then I also have 2200 on my back bar, which also isn't a lot, but keep in mind, our weapon damage is going to get buffed by 483 from 7th Legion, 300 weapon damage as well from Master's Bow, and then another 200 from Wrath, so you're looking at around like almost 1k extra weapon damage just from when you get all of these things together and you keep them into account. So that's really, really helpful, and it will definitely your damage will skyrocket. Like, you don't hit hard and heavy, but when people start hitting you, well, with this build anyways, like when you're taking lots of damage and you poison inject someone that you're going after, your 7th Legion's procced and your Wrath stacks are full, you're gonna tear the person apart. Like, you're gonna have around 3.5, you're gonna have higher than 3.5k weapon damage and heavy, maybe pushing 4k weapon damage as well, so keep that in mind. I am a red guard, as you can see. They did nerf red guard, they nerfed the recovery from the return that you get on melee attacks, but I still think red guard is pretty neat. I like it. I like the max stam you get, and you also do get recovery, I think like 10% recovery from red guard. We can just look at the passives, check that out. So Adrenaline Rush restores 792 stamina every 5 seconds. I think that was 4% of your max stam. So that's pretty tragic, but whatever. You know, we adapt, so whatever. You get max stam by 10%, and then you also get 9% stam recovery. So that's really, really good. I believe. Oh, also, passives that you're gonna want, besides like the obvious ones, which is like your class passives, your racial ones, your Fighters Guild passives and all that stuff, your armor passives, you're gonna want to get Alchemy passive, medicinal use, maxed out, because it increases the duration of your potion by 30%. So if you see here, 47.6 seconds and then 52.8, but the potion cooldown is only 45 seconds. So you're basically gonna have 100% uptime on 20% extra magicka, stamina, and health regen if you're using tripods, or just stam regen in general, because you're probably using stamina regen potions anyways, so that's helpful. If I pop a pot, my stats go up to 2k stam recovery, 1.2k health recovery, and then 1.1k magicka recovery as well. Keep in mind, I'm also using gold food, and that gives you 351 extra health recovery, 319 stamina and magicka recovery, so that's why I get a lot of magicka back, even without siphoning, just in general. Also, the potions I use are tri-potions, as you can see here. I use speed and movable ones most of the time. Just, it's really helpful for getting around in open world and not getting CC'd back to back. And then my disposable ones that I use when I'm low stam and I don't want to waste a good pot, I just make these ones. The reason I chose crit is because crit is just helpful in general. I'm pushing 30% crit when I pop this potion, and that does help with your damage as well, so that's something to keep in mind as well. The way I stack things, I already explained weapon damage, but now I'm going to go through health recovery. With Troll Kings, you're going to get extra 1.5k health recovery. Heavy armor passives give you, let me see, should be here, max health, wait a minute, health recovery by 4% per piece of heavy armor equipped, so for 8, 12, 16, 20% health recovery. Add 20% health recovery to 1500, and then add the 351 health recovery you get from gold food, and also take into account tripods give you another 20% extra health recovery, so when all of those things are stacked together, you're going to be regenning a lot of health passively, especially when Troll Kings procs, so that helps with survivability as well. And the last thing I want to go over is the reason I had Powered on my bow, because I didn't really explain that in depth. Powered isn't a great trait, but it's definitely not a bad one. So you have 7% extra healing done on your bow, you have 2% healing done from Troll King, so now we're at 9%. And then if you look at heavy armor passives, you also get an extra 8% healing received. So when you add all that together, you're getting an extra 17% extra healing, if my math is correct. I'm not sure if it's additive or multiplicative, but just 9%, 8%, you're getting 17% extra healing on your back bar. So when you vigor, when you rally, when you're in stealth and you're critting, you're getting 17% extra healing as well, just from when you add in those things together. So that's really helpful. I heal quite a bit, and take into account siphoning attacks will also benefit from this. So you get health back from siphoning just from light attacking people and just from heavy attacking them as well. You're going to be getting almost 1k back every single time you do that. So siphoning is definitely helpful for survivability. That's why I like it, honestly. You can use the stamina version if you'd like. I'm still yet to try it out, but I think I'm going to end up sticking with the magical one. So that's another thing. I believe that's everything. I'm not sure. If you look at resistances, we have 14,500 physical, 14,800 spell, and then when we fear and we get our shadow barrier passive, that goes up to 19,700 physical and then 20,000 spell resistance as well. So it's really helpful to have. I believe that's everything though. I'm not sure. Yeah, that should be everything. If you guys have any other questions about the build or anything that I do, just comment or hit me up in game and I'll be glad to help you. So thank you for watching and have a great day.